What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and in this video I will be doing a review for Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom. This is the third and final season in the Transformers animated series on Netflix, War for Cybertron. And the first season is called Siege because it refers to the siege of Cybertron. The second season is called Earthrise because it refers to their, them making their way to Earth. And then the third season is called Kingdom. I guess it refers to the Beast Kingdom. And this is, of course, the reference to Beast Wars, or actually, this is essentially the Beast Wars story for the War for Cybertron trilogy. And this one got me really excited when at the last episode, or at the final scene of Earthrise in episode 6, it showed the Ark landing on Earth, which they referred to as like an unknown planet, and then suddenly you see a Velociraptor with a mechanical eye, and I'm like, oh, this is when they introduced the Maximals and the Predacons. So that got me really excited. The thing is that Earthrise actually came out last year, so we waited so long for Kingdom to finally arrive, and finally it's here. And I checked it out. Here is my review. It does contain some minor spoilers, but I'm sure by now you guys have already seen it. Anyways, I don't even know where to begin with this because this is the third part to a larger story. So I'll just start off by saying that just like the previous episodes, or previous seasons, I think the voiceover work is top notch. I really love all the voice actors in this. They did a great job with all the characters, and they really brought each and every single one of the characters to life. Another thing is that, of course, I really like the characters. The characters have a lot of depth to them. I think with these episodes being, or rather this story being divided into so many episodes, we have 18 episodes total. It gives us opportunity to really understand every single one of those characters, and I'm talking about every single one of them. There's not a whole lot of background characters unless you're a background character named Cog, which is like essentially Six Gun from a Metroplex, but it's even Cog had a lot of depth to him, which is like the weirdest thing. So you can imagine every single one of the characters, especially even the new characters from the Maximals, the Predacons, they all have a lot of depth to them, and so they're very well written. So that's awesome. As for the story, I really like the story. The story is about, of course, getting the Allspark back. It's a constant struggle. There's nothing really new about the actual story, but it's the journey to get there that actually throws a lot of surprises to the audience, because there's a lot of things that happen that even I've never seen Beast Wars, but I think that even if you've seen Beast Wars, it's still not the same story. So I think that's really great that they decide to kind of refine the story and condense it down to 6 episodes, but at the same time also bringing a lot of a new life to it. Because even with Siege, they expanded I guess in G1 it's the escape from Cybertron. They expanded it into a much larger and grander story, so that's really interesting. I love the action in this. I love that like they introduced the Maximals and the Predacons in the first episode, and I was just like, wow, this is really cool. Like, we're actually seeing the G1 Autobots facing off against these beasts, and it worked really well. I was really concerned about how they would bring that in and how they would combine both factions, but it really worked. And I like, with regards to the action, I really like how they integrated this like the beast style action, which is, of course, you have charging dinosaurs. And I won't necessarily say just only dinosaurs, because there are also not dinosaurs like a gorilla or a rhino or a cheetah. And like, seeing them all work together is just I guess it's really fresh for me, because I've never even seen Beast Wars yet. So these are my thoughts coming from somebody who's never even seen Beast Wars. I can only imagine that the Beast Wars fans have an even more exciting and nostalgic feeling watching this, because they're seeing their favorite characters again on the screen. So for me, watching it for the first time, it gets me even more intrigued about Beast Wars, as well as leaning up to the upcoming film Transformers Rise of the Beast. I want to see those characters and the way they're portrayed in live action, but in any case, I love the way they're portrayed over in this series now, because it really gives them a more I guess it's a really great introduction for me to Beast Wars. There's a really good segue into Beast Wars now because now I really, really want to watch it. I like all the different characters there are. Every character is so unique in their own way. You got Air Razor, and then you have like Cheetor and Dinobot. Now Dinobot's probably like maybe one of my favorite characters. I like Dinobot and Air Razor actually. I think they have the most interaction together, and then you see how they're really there's a dynamic relationship going on. So you see they're not really just cookie cutter supporting characters because they're just not. There's so much more to them than that. And then you also have characters like Black Arachnia and her relationship with Starscream and the other, and oh yeah, I guess Dinobot again. But like you see that there's all these types of unique character relationships going on, and I like that about it. It's not just the simple good versus evil, evil versus good. It's not that. There's all these like characters with different agendas, so that is really, really awesome. And Starscream working with Predacons, that's something really interesting because he's always scheming and conniving, so his character and his personality is still all there. It's just heightened to a different level because now he's working with other characters. They do get, I think the episodes do get a little bit weird in episode, I think episode 4. I think it lost me a little bit in episode 4, and I think that's because they start bringing some, I don't really want to call it supernatural elements, but they are kind of supernatural elements to me. So it loses me a bit in episode 4. It's a little bit weird, but then it gains back steam in full force in episode 5 with the big showdown, and then we see the arc like in its full glory. Like that was really cool. It was kind of like every season has to introduce something surprising. So in the case of Siege, it was Omega Supreme coming out of nowhere and coming out of the ground as the Guardians. Like that's an interesting concept. And then we have the Ark, who's like a protector in some way, like I guess a guardian in some way. But it transforms, and that just like wow. I guess in some way I was kind of I was wondering if he was going to transform because we saw that it was kind of ruined as a toy when Hasbro released a toy for it. So in a way I was kind of expecting it, but just watching it was still very, very awesome and pretty spectacular. And in episode 6 was very, very interesting because they introduced Nemesis Prime and Galvatron. Like Galvatron was already there, but they brought the Galvatron character back, and there was that revelation that well, he's Megatron actually, but we already knew that. But then like he was the reveal was there, and then they're all going against these two characters, Nemesis Prime and Galvatron, and we see them all work together. So that was really awesome. And then of course there's the introduction, or rather the reveal of Unicron and the much larger sinister story. So which makes me believe that, well, the war for Cybertron is essentially over because it is a trilogy, but with the I guess the positive reception to the series, are they going to bring more? Because I'd like to see more. I'd like to see the actual war for Cybertron, because when I was watching Siege, I was actually telling myself, is that it? Is this the complete war for Cybertron? Because like Cybertron's already like ravaged and like destroyed by war, but we didn't actually see the war. I think there's actually a prequel before Siege. There's another story because there's already battles going on, but are we going to see more of that battle after Kingdom? Because they are back on Cybertron, they're trying to rebuild and all of that, but I guess like it gets crumbled again from war, a much grander war. I don't know where they're going to go with this, but then they have to continue the story, because after what they teased with Unicron, it's kind of like Transformers Last Night. All the fans want the story to continue where the Last Night left off. It's kind of like that. Like you can't just end this series with Unicron, Nemesis Prime, and Galvatron because there's so much more now. Like you're bringing in new concepts. It's not over yet. Obviously the story's not over, but whether they're gonna bring it back, like Netflix is gonna bring it back, who knows? But hopefully they do. In any case, this was great. If I had to rank the seasons, I would go with Siege is number 1. That was very, very nostalgic. Kingdom is number 2. I ranked that at number 2 because I like that next. And Earthrise is the last one. I still like it. I really, really enjoyed it, but it gets really, I don't even know how to describe it. It gets really biblical, and not that like there's any relation to like the Bible or anything, but it's biblical in the sense that it's got a lot of very like out of this world and outer body type of subplots, like experiences, like them going into like alternate realms and like dream sequences, and it gets a little bit weird. So I like Kingdom more than Earthrise. In any case, great series, nostalgic. More to the Beast Wars fans, Siege was definitely nostalgic, and I can't wait to see more. I hope they bring more. There's definitely more to the story, and I'm looking forward to it, okay? Anyways, my name is Alex. Thanks for watching this review, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll see you next time. Peace.